We're going to look at how we can customize the Easter basket tag letter A in this instance to where we can add a name. And basically you would have 2 to 3 layers for this design. So you would have your background. Say this is, in the case of the name Austin, we could do, say, a pastel blue or green. Since it's an Easter basket tag, this would be attached to an Easter basket. This could be pastel blue. And then we would have, say, a white outline that goes on top, which would be this piece right here. And then for the actual name, this could either be cut out of this outline, or you could take the name separately like this and cut that out of, say, the pastel blue as well. And so you would have your white outline and then this blue, if you used acrylic or painted wood, you can put this on afterwards. So that's your options with this. But we're going to talk about how to go from this design to a custom name design using Lightburn. And if you need to get the file will be in the link below. Okay, first things first. First thing is we're going to copy the outline. I don't like to work with originals just in case I make a mistake. Yes, you can undo, but I usually like to work with copies, and that way if it doesn't work out, I just make a new copy. Okay, so here's our outline, and now we need the name. So we're going to go ahead and go to the text tool here, and we're going to click, and we have to select our font. In this case, I'm using a commercial font called Buffalo, and then we can go ahead and type the name. And that looks good. So now I'm going to click the move tool, and we're going to move it over the letter and see how that looks as a name. So from here we can grab a corner and click and drag to uniformly scale it to whatever size we want. And this would just be the name, but we're trying to get an actual outline that merges with this outline. Okay, so this is a good size. So the next step would be to create an outline around this, and we'll end up merging it to look more like this design here. Okay, so next thing we need to do is go to Tools. I'm sorry, we have to select the shape first, and then we go to Tools, Offset Shapes. Okay, and here you can see we have some options. Okay, outward, left. Now that we have this offset, we can see that there are some potential problem areas, like there's a little area right here. There might be some overlap here and some overlap here. And so we can fix that because it's going to get kind of tight with the laser. And so we can fix this after the fact. Okay, so what I'm going for here is I kind of want the thickness between these two, between the text and the outline itself, to be similar to what the outline is on this letter A, this Easter letter A here. Okay, and that looks about right. So in this case, 0.15 looks pretty good. So I'm going to click OK for now, and then let's just highlight both of these and see if they look pretty good. And that looks like it's going to be pretty good. So we can go ahead and fix this letter. Okay, so next thing we're going to want to do is zoom in, and we can fix these problem areas. Okay, so by default in Lightburn, everything is going to be grouped together. When you do something like this offset, all these elements are grouped. So we have to first select them and right click and go to ungroup. And then we can select this object here and delete it. Okay, and next, how do we clean up these areas right here and right here so that way it doesn't get too tight for the laser? So what I do is I usually just create a shape like a rectangle. And what I'm trying to do here is create something that completely covers what I want to remove and overlap. So the idea here is that this outline would be cut, stop here, and continue onward. And so when I have my rectangle, I can select my rectangle. I can hold Shift and click my outline. Now they're both selected. Shift allowed me to select more than one object. And then we will come over here to our Boolean tool. And with the Boolean tool, we can select this option here, the union. And what that does is it takes two shapes and combines them together. And if you notice, let me go to reset, it did exactly what we wanted it to do. You know, it took this outline shape and we took our new shape and made them and merged them together. And this is the result we were going for. And you could play with these other options, these different Boolean options. If it's not doing what you intend, you can try some of these other options like intersection or subtract. And you can always reset it back to the original design, and maybe you need to make a different shape to try to merge them together. But in this case, this works out to what we want, so we will just click OK. All right, and we're going to repeat that. We're going to create another rectangle on this side, and we're going to have it go to probably somewhere like right there, and I'm going to move it over a little bit. Let me just move it over slightly because I don't want it to overlap this text right here. And so in this instance, the outline as the laser cuts, it's going to get to right here and then go around. So we're going to select our shape, the rectangle shape. We're going to select our outline, and then we're going to go to our Boolean tools again and go to union. And once again, that area disappeared, and now we have what we were looking for, right? So we want the laser to cut all the way around the name here, because that's going to create an outline that we're going to then merge with this, so it's all one piece, okay? So again, looking at the final result, if this was white acrylic, you can see that it would cut out the white acrylic and it would all be part of the outline. It would even cut the hole here, and then the hole under here would be what would see through, which would be this light blue background. Right, and so that's what we're going for. So now we got to get to the next step where we're actually merging the outlines together. So to do that, we're going to highlight this, and then we're going to position the text to where we think it looks pretty good. Okay. So whatever you think looks good, we need to just go ahead and try it and see what we think. Okay, so this looks pretty good. And again, we're not going to know until we actually merge them together if it's what we really want. And so if I do the same thing I did before, if I click my outline here and hold Shift and click the shape here, we can go to our Boolean tool and go to Union and see how that looks. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Again, ignore the letters in here because these will either be cut out of the outline itself, or and if you cut them out the outline itself, what you would do is this would just show through to the bottom, or you can cut these letters out, say the pastel blue, that would be glued on top of the outline itself. So what I'm looking at right now is literally just the outline of this bunny shape and how it meets with the letters. Okay, and that looks good. Just to show you, I'm going to move the actual text out of there. and this looks pretty good, right? And there's still some areas that we're going to have to clean up that won't work well with the laser, right? This may be okay. It's going to be a little tight. We can just remove these two pieces. So let me go back because I don't want to lose my spacing with the lettering here. I'm going to click this object and I'm going to right click and go to ungroup. And that's so I can select these pieces and press delete. Select this piece and press delete. And there we go. There we have our outline the way that we want it, modified to work with our letter. But there is one problem here, is that if we just use this outline as is, let me group these together. What's going to happen is the original letter isn't going to be underneath the little cutout of the A here. If you're trying to cut out the outline and let the blue shine through, you would have this area here where the blue didn't shine through. So what can we do to recreate this piece that now has the full outline of the letters? So that way, if this is the pastel blue, it's basically just going around the border here. And so that's pretty simple. We will go ahead and highlight this and copy using Control C and Control V. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Okay, and I'm going to move that over here. And then basically we will go ahead and select this and we will ungroup. Okay, so to create our outline that goes all the way around, we just need to get rid of the inside part. So now that this is ungrouped, we can highlight this first little inner area here and press delete. We can delete our inner text. I accidentally deleted that circle. You would want to leave this if you want this cut out. So basically, just like you have the hole here for attaching string or rope, in this case, here's the letter A, that's the center of the A. So if you want that to be a hole all the way through, you would leave this piece right here, okay? And the same goes for any of this. Like if you wanted the A cut out right here to go all the way through, you could leave this in. Or if you just wanted it to show as blue, you would just take this out because this would be the background, right? This would be the solid background. So I'll go ahead and leave that one in because that makes sense to leave that in there. But I will take the rest of this out. All this will come out. Okay, and that looks pretty good, right? And so you can imagine as this gets created, this would be, say, your pale blue background, your light blue or pastel, and then this would be your outline. Let me ungroup this. This would be your outline, say in white, and then you could potentially cut this out of the pastel blue too. That would get glued on top, or use some double stick tape, and that would just go right on top, or for these letters, they could just get cut out of this outline, and basically when this gets cut out with the laser, you would see the light blue background showing through where these letters are. Okay, so that's how we customize the Easter tags. In this case, it's the letter A. If you need to get the tags, you can get them from the link below. And if you like and subscribe to this video, you'll see any future updates that we have for tutorials in Lightburn and how to customize different elements with your laser. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thank you.